Hey you guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Blessing here. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for joining the family. I hope you've enjoyed everything that you have seen so far. If you're an OG but a goodie, what's good? Thank you for coming back and clicking on this video. So today I just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys because it's been a while. It has been a while. First off, let me just start off by saying thank you so very much to all of you guys for all of the love that I have received on my last video, my proposal video. My heart is just so full. Like, it still feels like it just happened yesterday. Anyway, I'm going to do a totally separate video about my proposal, how we met, just everything, because I know you guys are dying to get in my business, but I will get into that in a much today's video. I just wanted to talk about something that is very dear to my heart, and that's endometriosis. If you guys have been on my channel, then you understand my struggles, because I have been very open about my battle with endometriosis. I've been very open about my struggles, everything that I faced, my laparoscopy, my fears, everything pretty much that has to do with me and my periods. I have been very open about that. But I wanted to talk to you guys because I realized I have not done a video about my post laparoscopy. Wanted to touch on that because I do get a lot of questions even to this day about, okay, now that you've had a baby and you've had a laparoscopy, do you still suffer from endometriosis? Has it gotten better? Do you still have pain? So I just wanted to answer all of you guys' questions in this video. So before I do get started, who is sensitive to blood and different stuff like that, this video will get graphic because I'm someone that's very expressive and I like to be a little TMI, just so you guys get the picture. So just a little warning out there that I will be giving a little bit of TMI, but if you don't like that, then this might not be the video for you to watch. But anyway, so you guys know I had a laparoscopy April 2015. April 2015 I had a laparoscopy. Fortunately, I was pregnant during that time without my knowledge, but now that Aria is 2 years old and I'm not pregnant or anything, I'm able to better say whether or not the laparoscopy works for me or not. What I will say is, since having a laparoscopy, I will say that my periods aren't as heavy or as painful. Now, what I'm trying to say is, coming from where I was, with endometriosis, if you don't know my backstory, my periods have always been painful. I had stage 4 endometriosis and I had cystic ovaries. So my periods have always been painful. I was the type of person that every month I would literally be in the ER. That type of pain. So they have told me it was UTI, bowel obstructions. They've tried to treat me for all types of stuff, but never got to the basis of what it was, which was endometriosis. And the only reason they got to that was because I then had to go to a gynecologist, who then diagnosed me with endometriosis. But I'm someone who's had very painful periods. Not just that, but I would have clots in my periods. Just a whole bunch of stuff. Like Tylenol and Midol never worked for me. Aspirin never worked for me. Every month when I was in my period, I would have to call in sick pretty much. My periods would last 7 days. Just excruciating. I wasn't able to work. I wasn't able to do anything. Every month, at least for 7 days, that was my life. But now that I've had a baby and I've had a laparoscopy, I will say my periods now are a lot better, which kind of makes me feel like, so this is what you people that have normal periods, this is what you people have been enjoying, so this is how it feels. I definitely have a lot more normal periods as opposed to where I was before. So my periods now last about 4 to 5 days, four days. They're not as heavy as they used to be. I no longer have blood clots, which I'm thankful for. Before, I could go through 10 pads. I wasn't really the tampon type person because I just wasn't comfortable. So putting up there just was never really my thing. So I would just stick to pads, because usually when I'm on my period for those 7 days, I would be home anyway sick. Periods aren't as heavy, so I'm not going through like 10 pads in one day or anything like that. No, they're not as heavy. I don't have clots anymore. Like I said, they last about 4 days. The most pain that I get usually is discomfort on the first day. I'll have a little bit of cramping, but usually if I lay down or put a warm cloth to my stomach, I feel a lot better. Whereas before, the first day was usually the worst. I'd be throwing up, I'd be rolling around on the floor, crying, to the point that I have to go to the ER. Like, I'd literally just sleep, and it just, but now like the pain is just like a little bit of cramping, so I would lay down, put a warm cloth, and I'm fine. I don't take Tylenol, I don't take Midol, I don't take any of that. I just put a warm cloth on my stomach and I'm usually fine. Now, compared to where I'm coming from, it's a lot more manageable, it's a lot more efficient. I'm able to go to work, I'm able to go to school, I'm able to still live my life. Whereas before, I honestly could not do anything. Like, it felt like I was pregnant every month. Like, every month I was literally acting like a pregnant person, just vomiting, you know, rolling around, just extremely uncomfortable. Now what I will say is, for me personally, I do feel like laparoscopy and having a baby, I don't know if it's the laparoscopy that worked more for me, or if it's the fact that I've had a baby. But I will say, from the medical point of it, knowing what my OBGYN did for me during my laparoscopy, I will say the laparoscopy was successful for me. Now, that doesn't mean that if you have endometriosis, you need to run out and go have a laparoscopy, because everyone's body is different, everyone responds to things different. Now, I was stage 4 endometriosis, and also I had cystic ovaries, and also I knew that at one point in my life I would want to have kids, which was really the main reason why I chose to go ahead and have the laparoscopy. Because if you suffer from endometriosis, your chances of having children are diminished if you don't get treated on time. So I knew that I'd want to have a family one day, I'd want to have children, so I chose to go ahead and have the laparoscopy. And also because I was tired of going to the ER and being treated for things that just didn't make sense. And so that was the better option for me. Now, I'm not telling you through this video to please go and get a laparoscopy so that your endometriosis will be treated. No, like I said, everyone is different. His body responds differently, because the recovery process for laparoscopy is not easy. It is not easy. I'm thankful I had my family around me and I had the support system that I did, because I couldn't walk. Like, it was unbearable. I've already shared that with you guys. But I will say that if you are someone that suffers from endometriosis, it is important to stay in contact with your gynecologist, and it is important to record everything that you're going through. Like, write it down, your pain symptoms from a 1 to 10, the different feelings that you're feeling, because a lot of times what happens with doctors is endometriosis is not something that's very common. Now I feel like it's more common than it was before when I first started making videos, because the reason why I even spoke about it was because I couldn't find videos with people, you know, sharing things that I was going through. So I felt like I was just this random human on this planet that just has the worst periods ever. But as I started making videos and started hearing you guys' stories and you guys telling me like, hey, I go through this too, it made me feel a lot better to know like I wasn't alone. And endometriosis is actually a whole lot more common than you would think. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're suffering from endometriosis, it is important to make sure that your gynecologist understands what it is that you're trying to tell them. Because one frustration that I had was, every time I would go to the ER, they would tell me, oh, it's a UTI. But I know it's not a UTI. One, I'm in the medical field. Two, I know my body. I know how I'm feeling. There's no way I'm having a UTI every freaking month. Like, no. And then they'll say, oh no, it's bowel obstruction. No, it's not bowel obstruction. My bowels are moving just fine. So it is, sometimes doctors, you really have to get through to them, but do not get frustrated, or do not give up or give in. Do not give in. Like, it's your body, you know what you're feeling, your symptoms are valid, so insist. continue to like knock on their door, continue to insist until they hear you and they understand and take you seriously, because it is excruciating pain and it is unbearable to live with. So I do wish someone had told me that back then, because I literally would just give in. Like, they would give me pills and I'll take it. They would give me birth control and I'll take it. I'm like, whatever I need to do to just get rid of this, I want to do it. But then the birth control that I would get on would, you know, make me gain a whole bunch of weight, and the pills that I would get on would make me moody. And I'm just like, I don't want to live my life like this. Like, I don't want to live my life taking pills every freaking month because I'm on my period, and then when you stop taking the pills you get different symptoms. I just didn't want to do that. So I got to the point that I had to put my foot down and I had to say, listen, these are my symptoms. This is what I'm feeling. I'm not crazy. I'm not making it up in my head. I need you to understand. And that's when they started taking me seriously, and they said, okay, people will be the better option for you. So that works for me. But that's pretty much the backstory for why I chose to do a laparoscopy. Now, I'm not saying it's going to work for you, but what I will say is, if you're to the point where you feel like you've tried everything, then maybe a laparoscopy would work. But first, consult your doctor. Don't just go out there and sign up to do a laparoscopy. Consult your doctor. Make sure it's something that will work for you. Now, did pregnancy help me? Even though I could have a baby, just based off of what my doctor had told me. After I had my laparoscopy, I lost a tube. If you're new to my channel, you might not know that. After I had a laparoscopy, I lost a tube, and right now I only have one tube. So my chances of being pregnant is already reduced in half. But so when I realized I was pregnant, to me it was like, it was a blessing, it was a miracle, it was everything in one. So I didn't even know. I thought my endometriosis had literally just damaged my womb at this point, but it didn't. As God will have it, it didn't. So like I said, I don't really think pregnancy helped, but I do know that a lot of gynecologists would tell you, like, oh, once you have a baby, your periods will be less painful and stuff like that. I have heard that. So I guess it did help, but also that does not mean run out and get pregnant tomorrow just so your periods be, you know, less painful. As long as you're in touch with your doctor and you guys have a plan for your health and for your life, then that's really what matters. Just follow your doctor's instructions and don't just like run out and do whatever it is that you think is better for you. It's important to listen to your doctor, because at the end of the day they do know what they're talking about, even though it doesn't always seem like it, but they do know what they're talking about. So do listen to what your doctor has to say and follow the regimen and whatever plan it is that they have for you. Did pregnancy help me? I will say it might have. I'm not 100% sure on that. I will say it might have. But I will definitely say that the laparoscopy did help me with my periods, with dealing with my periods. Where I am right now, you guys know I have Aria in my life. I already have a child. I am hopeful that I can possibly get pregnant again in the future. Since I did lose a tube, I know for me it would be a lot harder. But at this point in my life, there's nothing that God cannot do for me. So I know I will be just fine when that time comes. But I just wanted to sit down and share this video with you guys. If there's anything else that I have not touched on that you'd like for me to talk about, be sure to let me know below in the comment section. Endometriosis, I'm so happy that people are talking about it more. I was watching TV the other day and it was like a commercial on endometriosis, and it made me feel so good. Like, I'm so glad that people are speaking about it more, because it is so important. Like, it's something that needs to be talked about. But anyway, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you all on my next video. Bye, and God bless.